It's time for Wenatchee Panther Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth, Collins Fashions, Town Nissan, and Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge. Now let's go to the Wenatchee Panther Gymnasium for all the action with NCW Life Channel's Eric Granstrom and Leanne Branham.
Welcome to Wenatchee High School for this Big Nine volleyball matchup between the Wenatchee Panthers and the Davis Pirates. Along with Leanne Branham, I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. Well, Leanne, we've got two teams that are going in the opposite direction right now. You've got Davis that is winless so far in, 10 games on the season. Wenatchee, meanwhile, in the upper echelons of the Big Nine.
Yeah, but just like Coach Emily was saying, you don't ever want to underestimate a team. You never know what a team is going to bring any day, especially it's high school, it's girls. There's a lot of different factors that can play. So I think the biggest thing for Coach McLean's team is not to underestimate anybody.
One thing that we've been talking about all season long is the fact that it's been fun for us to have two of the top three teams of the Big Nine right here in the Wenatchee Valley with Eastmont and Wenatchee. We're all looking forward to that contest to come. West Valley is going to be at Eastmont next week. We're looking forward to that one as well. So when you think about that, though, you can't look past a team like this.
No, absolutely. They need to be focusing on today, tonight, what's right here in front of them. If you focus on too far past, you can definitely set yourself up for failure. So definitely tonight, focus on this, and then as soon as this is over, you got to start working towards next week.
And these kind of games too, Leanne, I imagine if you being a former coach coming in with this, first take care of your business with your starters and your main line people, but also getting a chance to get some varsity playing time that might not necessarily get that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You get the first part of the match under your belt, you know that you have a lot of momentum, and that's when you can start switching it up a little bit. But for me as a coach, I always made sure the game was done before you started subbing, because you just never know. Even though all her players are great, you just never know. Mixing something up can definitely be destructive sometimes.
Well, and we've seen that wave go in a different direction that you don't want necessarily. We're going to talk with head coach Emily McLean coming up as we continue with the pregame show right here from Wenatchee High School. It's the Panthers and the Pirates coming up next on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back here on the pregame show as we get ready for this matchup between Davis and the Wenatchee Panthers here at Wenatchee High School. Along with Leanne Branham, I'm Eric Granstrom, and joined by Emily McLean, the head coach for the Wenatchee Panthers. And our interview with Emily is brought to you by TC Slingers. Whether it's rock, bark, sand, soil, they'll place the material for you. Well, I haven't had a chance to talk to you yet, Emily. So let's talk about the season so far. You got to be pretty happy.
I am very happy with the season so far. It's been not always easy, but we've been able to kind of work through lots of challenges and kids coming and going with some injuries, and staying successful and just working towards our goal for that state tournament this year.
Okay, and I know that's a definite goal after what happened last year, especially with that team across the river that shall remain nameless.
Yes, that's very true. I think it lit the fire even a little more. So.
Well, and for us, and Leanne and I have talked about it on several of our broadcasts so far, it's been fun for us to have two of the three best teams in the Big Nine right here in the Valley.
That's true, and it's great for competition. The kids know each other. They play a lot together in the off season, so it's always a tough matchup with them anyway. So yeah, we look forward to kind of making it through the end of the season like that.
Now, you mentioned an injury. You do have an injured one of your starters here tonight.
We do. Lily's working through a shoulder injury, and she's making great progress, so we expect to see her back next week.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and so on paper, Emily, Davis just seems like they're kind of at the bottom, but I know, having coached, and you just never know what to expect. What's your guys' goal going in tonight without underestimating a team?
That's always a goal, is to never underestimate a team and to always prepare for the team that's in front of you, while keeping your long-term goal in your sights. But if we just kind of work on the things we've kind of kept fine-tuning this whole season, which is our passing and playing defense, I think we should be okay.
And you hope to get a chance to get almost everybody some playing time in a game like this?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think we have a couple kids that have been great at jumping into a different position because it was something that was needed. And that's always something I hope for in my players. And they've done a really great job with that. So.
Well, congrats on the season so far. Keep everybody healthy tonight and have fun.
Thanks, I will.
All right, there's Emily McLean joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and get you the lineups and get you the start of this matchup between Davis and Wenatchee. It's Big Nine Volleyball coming up next on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee High School as the teams warm up and get ready for this matchup between the Davis Pirates, the visitors, and the Wenatchee Panthers here at home. I guess that giant WHS on the far bleachers would be your indicator that we're at Wenatchee High School. Along with Leanne Branham, I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer where honesty and transparency come first. Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee, real clothes for real women. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. Well, the teams, as we mentioned, going in opposite directions. As we look at the standings right now in the Big Nine, Wenatchee second place behind West Valley. The Rams 7-0 in Big Nine play. 8-0 on the season as they continue their domination of the Big Nine. Wenatchee in second place at 6-2 in the Big Nine, 7-3 on the season. Eastmont tucked right there in third place at 5-2. They're 5-4 overall. Eisenhower at 4-4 in Big Nine play in fourth place. Moses Lake's in fifth place at 3-4. Then you have Sunnyside at 1-6 and Davis at 0-8 in Big Nine play. They're 0-10 overall on the season. It has been a rough go for the Davis Pirates. Let's take a look at their starting lineups, and our lineups brought to you by Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for residential and commercial heating and air conditioning. It's Arctic Refrigeration and Heating. So here's the lineups here for the visitors as announced by their head coach Stephanie Gellerson. She's assisted by John Farver, Gina Maxwell, and Carmelo Ramos. Getting the start here tonight is Natalie Benitez. She wears number 1. She's a 5'2 sophomore. Wearing number 2 is Lily Lozano, a 5'2 junior. Also getting the start, number 4, Joy Dumas, who's a 5'10 senior. And I've seen her warming up out here. She's not too bad. Josie Morton wears number 5. She's a 5'4 junior. Jordan Skahan White is a 5'7 junior. She wears number 11. And Lachlan Holberg wears number 12. She's a 6'2 sophomore. So a lot of size. Will be interesting to see how her athleticism might match up with that size. And the libero for the Davis Pirates is a 5' senior, wears number 6, Jada Chavez. So that's the lineups for the visitors. And again, Davis coming in with a record of 0-8 in Big Nine play, 0-10 on the season. Meanwhile, for the Wenatchee Panthers, is announced by their head coach, Emily McLean. She's assisted by Diane Hallberg, Chrissy Richardson, and Harry Wagner. Getting the start tonight for the Panthers, Megan Van Wagner, a 5'6 senior. Demery Sugg wears number 6. She's a 5'6 senior. Lauren Clark wears number 7. She's a 5'8 junior. Zella Tyre is a 5'6 senior. She wears number 8. Allie Hallberg getting the start in that front line. She's a 5'11 senior, wears number 10. And Marissa Lykin getting the start tonight. She is wearing number 11 as usual. She's a 6' senior. And let me check here. I didn't write the libero down, but that's usually Devin Anderson, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Leanne McGay, or I did it again.
Leanne Branham now.
Leanne Branham. It's been that.
It's
for
me.
a number of years. It's not like we've changed anything. I guess it's just been a while since I've done a broadcast with you.
Right, and that's been my last name for most of my life. So this whole Branham thing's kind of new.
Yeah. Okay. So those are your lineups here, and our starting lineups brought to you by Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for residential and commercial heating and air conditioning. It's Arctic Refrigeration and Heating. So, Leanne, we've got two teams going the opposite directions. If you're the coach for Davis, and you've had a tough season so far, if you're Stephanie Gellerson, what do you hope to get? I mean, first of all, the trip started with your bus being an hour and a half late because you got stuck in traffic down at Vantage because of an accident. So there you sit on the bus forever with the girls.
In the rain.
In the rain. How do you overcome just disaster of a bus trip, and you come up here against a Wenatchee team that is one of the best teams in the Big Nine, maybe one of the best 4A teams in the state, and you're winless so far?
Right. It is tough. Any situation where you're traveling is a little bit tougher than when you're home. Luckily, varsity doesn't have to get right off the bus and play, and they have had some time to, wake up their legs a little bit and kind of mentally prepare. But I think as Davis's coach, you go into any game winless with hopefully no fear. You come out with no regrets as long as your team leaves everything out on the floor and they're diving for everything and trying their hardest. That's really, when you're in a building year, that's all that you can expect from your kids.
Of course, Davis last year played right here in a play-in game that we broadcast on the NCW Life Channel against Wenatchee in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
A little different story for them this year, although they did graduate a lot of seniors off of that club from last year.
Right, they did.
And you see the some of the Davis, you see the Davis assistant coach wearing a little bow tie. I like that look. And then also one of the assistant coaches wearing a tutu.
That's their head coach.
Is that their head coach wearing a tutu?
I believe that's the head coach wearing a tutu.
So that's Stephanie Gellerson wearing the tutu here in front of us. What do you got to lose? And let's have some fun.
Absolutely. Nothing to lose. Leave it all out on the court.
The Wenatchee Panthers, I was looking at our officiating crew too. I see a couple of pink whistles in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yep.
So that's nice to see. And one of the officials also was saying, well, I see so many people in purple. It's nice that they also recognize Domestic Violence Month as well.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that purple was the color for that.
It is. I didn't know that that was this month, but it kind of makes it handy that Wenatchee is purple.
It does. It does. So the Panthers and the Davis Pirates being announced here. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back and get you more of the lineup here, and also tell you what's coming up on the NCW Life Channel. As our broadcast is brought to you in part by First Choice Collision Center, Heritage Memorial Chapel, and Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with more from Wenatchee High School right after this timeout. Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee High School along with Leanne Brenham. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel. Well, Leanne, I mean, the season is quickly escaping us here. I mean, there's not many games left for the Wenatchee Panthers. After tonight, they've got the Wenatchee Invite coming up this weekend. Also, they'll be on the road at Sunnyside and then finish at home against Moses Lake, and then that big match coming up on October 24th, Eastmont, and that's going to be a fun one. We've got our anthem coming up, so we'll take a quick timeout, 90-second break, and we'll be back with your tip coming up on the NCW Life Channel. So we're just about ready to go. Going to be a little confusing for our camera folks. Both teams wearing white. I thought the traveling team was supposed to wear dark uniforms.
Not in volleyball.
Okay, all right. See, all these different rules
Yep.
for these different sports. So let's see. Bill Lieber, our official here on the floor, taking a look at the lineups, making sure everybody is straight. The libero for Wenatchee comes in, Devin Anderson. She's out there along with Zella Tyre and Megan Van Wagner. Also up front, you've got Allie Hallberg and Demery Sugg, as well as Marissa Licken. I think I said Licken when I was doing the lineups. I keep working with that. Lily Lozano has the service, and we're underway here at Wenatchee High School tonight. And that little slide there by the Panthers, well, they keep it alive. Nice job by Devin there to get down after that one. They get it back across. Up front, the Pirates work it over to the left side, and a block there by Licken up front. Then a little tap. Hallberg there for the block. This one goes to the back line. They're going to say Hallberg was into the net.
Nope, one of Davis players.
No, 2 hits. So it's a point to the Panthers. Demery Sugg with that grin on her face. And that's usually good news for the Wenatchee Panthers. If Demery Sugg is grinning, that's usually a good thing. Back line it goes. Davis a little out of sorts, and there's a miss hit there on a strike by Joy Dumas. And it goes into the net. Point to the Panthers. 2-0 to score, just underway here in the first set. Sugg with the approach and the serve. Back line it goes to their libero, who is Jada Chavez. Davis gets it across. Now to Hallberg. Hallberg blocked at the net to the point. Getting up there strong was Joy Dumas, the 5'10 senior, with a good block there. Substitution here for Davis. Natalie Benitez out, and in comes Melissa Vasquez. And back to serve is Jordan Scahan-White. Right-handed service over to Hallberg on the kill, and it's in. Allie going down the right side on the kill. Got it in the corner there, and a point to the Panthers. It's 3-1.
That was a nice swing. It's hard to hit that line from the backside like that. It's a nice spot.
And here we go again. And I keep saying I should keep track of these points. Then the person has the service. There's a nice touch at the net by Licken, and put it right back where nobody could get to it. Joy Dumas down on the ground after the hit, and then Licken just put it right back where nobody was. Point to the Panthers. It's 4-1. Hallberg this time Little miss strike on the serve, and so it goes over to Davis on a point. Substitution here for the Pirates. Serenity King comes in. She'll be the server now as Joy Dumas comes down. Good service by King to the back line to Hallberg, up to Sugg. Now the kill attempt by Licken. They get it back across. Back line it goes to Anderson. Near side, here's the sets. Nice kill attempt, but to the task is Davis. This one's a little deep, but Anderson keeps it alive. Now Hallberg gets it over. How she could try to kill it from way back there, she did. Panthers need to get it back over again. It's Zella Tyer, and this one's a little bit too deep. And it's a point to Davis.
I like their coach.
Serenity King out there almost looks like she's ready to cry because she got a point for her team. Well, when you have a struggling season, all little victories are huge.
Absolutely.
And this one down. Sugg can't get after it. Little tap at the nets and give that kill to Josie Morton. And we're tied at 4.
I'm thoroughly enjoying Davis's coach right now. She's very enthusiastic. I like it.
Stephanie Gellerson wearing the tutu out here, cheering on her team.
I'm wondering if it's homecoming week for Davis.
That's a good question. They are home this week. And a ball that goes off of Sugg out of bounds. And look at this. Davis is leading 5-4. Well, like you said, Leanne, come in. You got nothing to lose. Let's play it.
Absolutely.
Got to roll that ball out there. And here we go. Tyer is going to get the point this time for the Panthers. Nice job. Instead of striking it right at the person across the net from her, she went away from her and was able to find a hole. Substitution for Wenatchee coming in as Lauren Clark. And also the libero back in for Davis, Jada Chavez. Service to Devin Anderson. Anderson tipped the top of the net with a serve. It stays in. Davis needs to get it across, and I think that's going to be extra hit there as they don't get it across. And a point to Wenatchee. 6-5 the score. Panthers up here. Devin Anderson with a little deep serve and a little too deep. Good eye over there by Lily Lozano. Just bends at the waist. The ball goes over her head and out of bounds. Erlarosia Pedroza checks in for Davis. And Morton on the serve here for the Pirates. Good serve. Back line to Hallberg. Chasing is Sugg. Now to Tyer. Block at the net. Good job by Davis to keep it alive. Now they come to the libero for the kill attempt. Sugg needs to get it over. She does. Back line to Morton. Now they come forward with it. Sugg right there. Near side it comes to Tyer, and that's going to skip off a Davis hand out of bounds. Point to the Panthers. Emily was telling us off the air that she wasn't too happy with the passing the last time out for the Panthers.
Right. When they were playing West Valley, she had communicated with me that their passing was just what killed them.
Panthers on the serve here. Back line it goes. Anderson going down. Sugg going down. Tyer gets it in. Point for Zella.
Yeah, when you're playing volleyball, if you can't pass, it's super hard to get your team into the rhythm of doing anything. So you end up playing a lot of scramble volleyball. And when you're a team with skill like Wenatchee, scramble's not what you want to do.
Right. Service for the Panthers by Megan Van Wagner. Davis gets it back across. Up front to Tyer. To Sugg, back to Tyer. Nice kill attempt. Nice save there by Chavez. Now Davis, a little bit out of sorts was Melissa Vasquez. Kind of mistimed her jump a little bit on the right hand, and it goes into the net. Another service for Van Wagner. Good jump serve there in. Ace. Kind of caught Davis on the back line, tweener, as Josie Morton was coming forward on the serve, and the ball went right past her. Van Wagner again on the serve, leading at 10-6. Good duck there. And that one gets across. Sugg near side on the set to Tyer. Hit the antenna in the top of the net. It's the point to Davis. Substitution here for the Pirates as Benitez comes back in. She'll be serving here. As coming out is Vasquez. And how about the energy Stephanie Gellerson is showing for her team?
I absolutely love it. You know, I think it would be very hard to not win and to keep that attitude, but you can tell that these girls probably really enjoy having a coach that keeps them doing that. I mean, honestly, so far what I've seen from Davis is decent volleyball.
Yeah. 12-6 the score. Service for Wenatchee. Up front it comes, near side to Pedroza. Panthers return it, and they're going to say it went on this side of the antenna, so it's a point to Davis. Allie Hallberg was over here near side, but touched the ball a little bit too far beyond her. And so it goes outside the antenna, and now a service here for Lachlan Hoberg, the 6'2 sophomore. Back line to Anderson, up front to Sugg. She'll set it for Allie Hallberg, and it is in.
It's a nice cross-court swing.
So when you wind up for those, especially when you're that close to the net, do you work on kind of changing the trajectory of your arm swing so you're kind of coming across rather than coming down?
Yep, absolutely. You have to, or else your follow-through is going to go right into the net.
Right.
You kind of saw her swing off to the right.
Right. That's also going to put a little English on that ball too, won't it? If they can get a return on it, it's going to do some crazy spinning.
Absolutely. Yep.
So a little deep on the service for Wenatchee, 12-9 to score, and the service to Davis as Pedroza will serve it up here. That's a good serve. Up front, little slide to Hallberg. And again, their coach Gellerson comes off the bench. She's playing every ball, every volley. Touch at the net, and that's a point to Davis. Joy Dumas. Dumas, a 5'10 senior, playing well at the front line. It's 12-10. Wenatchee by 2. Service, Pedroza. Back line to Wenatchee. Sugg up front to Hallberg. That was a little deep on the set there. Return here, Benitez up front. They'll just get it over. Live to see another volley, possibly, and a block at the net on the shot by Hallberg. Now they get it over, try to find a hole in the pond. Can't do it. Now the set, little off kilter, but they get it over. Does Davis. Up front to Sugg. Here's Hallberg again, cross court, and there is Davis on the return. Quite a volley on this point. There's Lickett, off the chest, falling down. Davis gets it over again. Panthers on the return. Here comes a little soft touch by Hallberg this time. Took something off of that one. Back corner it goes. It's out.
That's really good volleyball right there. Davis is absolutely playing to not let the ball hit the ground. That's awesome.
Spirited point.
Yes.
For sure. 13-10 the score. Panthers up. Substitution as Lozano comes back in for the Pirates. It'll be Demery Sugg on the service for Wenatchee. Sugg with that flat palm dying ball as it comes across the net. She's on the return on the bump. Now here's the shot by Anderson. Cross court it goes, and a little deep. Oh, they're going to say the Wenatchee touched it.
Yeah, I believe that Zella touched it in the back row.
Okay.
She's not arguing, so I think that means that's correct.
Well, and that was Jordan Scahan-White, the 5'7 junior. She's just a little bigger than 5'7. She's got the serve right now. Falling down is Tyre. They'll set it up front. Hallberg, little deep, and out. And a point to Davis. They're within one, 13-12. And a timeout going to be taken by Wenatchee. So we'll take a 30-second break and come back. 13-12 the score. Davis trying to get something going here on the road in Big 9 play. We'll come back after this 30-second break. You're watching volleyball here on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again to Wenatchee High School. Our broadcast here brought to you by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. And Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. Along with Leanne Branham, I'm Eric Grandstrom, and the surprise here, Davis.
Yeah.
Trailing it by 1, 13-12.
I want to get a surprise.
You want a surprise?
Yeah.
Okay. A nice surprise?
A nice surprise.
Little touch here at the net by Wenatchee. Davis right there. They're putting their bodies in the right rotation, putting the bodies in the right spot. The libero back there, Chavez. Now up front, little touch at the net, and here they come again. Wenatchee can't get it. To the points for Joy Dumas and Davis.
That Joy Dumas looks like a volleyball player. She has a volleyball build.
Mm-hmm. Service for Davis, tied up at 13. Hallberg. Right there, Davis. They get it across. It's like they're living and dying on every single point here. Little touch of the net by the Panthers, Van Wagner. Now back line, a little miss hit there, a little too down far on the arm for Skahan White. Goes out of bounds. That's a point to Wenatchee. They lead at 14-13. Hallberg on the service for Wenatchee. Back line, it goes to Lozano up front. And here's Dumas again. Sugg backing up. Now Hallberg a little bit too far back. Angle's not good, and it goes into the net. That's one of those where she is kind of stepping backwards, too, in order to get herself in position to hit that ball.
Right. It's really hard when you don't have your body under the ball to be successful.
So I rarely see two substitutions at once. Davis just did that. And back into serve is King. And a tough serve. Anderson there. Here's Licken. Gets it across. Lozano up front. Here's a kill attempt. I think if Anderson lets that go, it's too deep, but Hallberg gets it across. Back line it goes now. Davis serves it up for Vasquez. Vasquez a little bit too strong trying to go cross court, and it's a point to Wenatchee. King replaces the lineup here by Dumas, and then comes right back out as Libero comes back in, and Chavez. And meanwhile, it's Devin Anderson on the service for Wenatchee, leading by 1. Anderson back line. Up front, here's the rotation, and back line it goes again off Vasquez. This one's too deep again. Ball came a little far up, and the kill attempt up front by Vasquez, and just a little bit too strong. Anderson serving her 3rd point. A little missed strike there, but they keep it alive. Chavez gets it over. Sugg, near side, Tyre, and Tyre, rather than hitting it, tried to kind of place it, and a little too soft there, a point to Davis. Substitution for the Pirates. Lozano replaced by Pedroza. Dizzying on the substitutions here on our left. Hallberg's going to have to clean up for Tyre there. She'll get it up front to to Lauren Clark. Now to kill at the net, and a point.
I love their coach.
Wow.
Did you see her?
She jumped almost as high as Hallberg there. And I would say that Gellerson, their coach, is maybe, what, 5'3"?
Maybe. She's a tiny little thing. I'm going to guess she was a libero.
There's a kill by Hallberg, and you know what? They've had a lot of answers for that here so far. Hallberg gets it over. Anderson to Sugg to Clark. Davis again with the answer. Cross court, kept it alive into the net, I think. No, a lift.
We didn't touch it. We actually did not touch it, so it's 4 hits.
So it hit the net rather than a hand.
Yes. Well, I was going to tell you here soon, I bet you Davis is going to run out of subs. You're only allowed 18 subs.
Pirates trying to get it across after the service by Wenatchee. Anderson to Sugg, near side to Tyre. Right there for the block is Pedroza, and a point to Davis, and they're staying right with the Panthers right now, tied at 17. In fact, Bill Lieber looking over to the table saying, how many do they have left here on the subs?
Yeah, I knew it was getting close.
17 all, and Natalie Benitez with the service for the Pirates. Backline Hallberg, up front Clark over to Zaire, and Urzella Tyre. Actually, that was Sugg, Demery Sugg here on the near side with a kill attempt. Too deep.
Yep, the sub Wenatchee brought in is actually setting.
Actually, they're going to say the point is Wenatchee's.
Yes.
I didn't see what the...
She touched it.
Oh, she
touched it on the way out of bounds. Yep.
Got it. Zella Tyre on the service for the Panthers. Back line, a little miscommunication for Davis there. They got out of sorts, and the ball falls down. A point for the Panthers, leading at 19-17. Tyre continues on the service for Wenatchee. Back line to Benitez. Up front, they'll work it over to the left side. This one's going towards the out of bounds. Wenatchee needs to get it over. They finally do. Back line again to Benitez. Up front on the set is Morton. They get it across as Hallberg was there. Now the set to her. Beautiful. I don't know if that was intended or not, but it turned out to be a set by Sierra White, and Hallberg all over that one.
Hallberg says anything you put up in the air, I'm going to take it.
Timeout taken by Davis. We're going to take a 30-second break and come back as well. 2017 the score. Wenatchee trying to wrap up here the first set. We'll be back right after this. Wenatchee leading at 20-17 here in the first set. Our broadcast brought to you by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. Real clothes for real women. And Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer where honesty and transparency come first. Zella Tyer on the service here for the Panthers. She tries to continue the streak. Now the set for Holberg. Down low, the Panthers answer, but there's a block of the net. Nice job by Holberg, just getting up tall. And not much that Pedroza could do with that, as it was put back right into her face. 21-17 to score. Zella Tyer again on the service. Back line to Chavez. Up front, here's Holberg, and that one going to sail out of bounds. Lachlan Holberg, just a little of that youth showing possibly up front, the sophomore for Davis. And how about Zella Tyer here, continuing with the point total for Wenatchee?
She's going on a run. That's what Wenatchee needed.
Holberg kind of played a little ceiling there, and they're going to call 4.
And I think that's an incorrect call.
Yeah.
I do believe that was only 3.
Yeah, I don't think so either, and that's what they're arguing over there. Josie Morton comes over.
The ref is doing a redo. She realized she made a mistake.
Yep. Yeah, because Allie touched that ball, and then they hit it again.
Pass over. Yep.
Right. So they're going to give Zella Tyer the chance to serve that point over again, leading it 22-17. Far side it goes over to Skahan White, near side. Now to the Panther side, and Holberg just brutal on that kill.
It's good to see her light a little bit of fire when Wenatchee needed that.
Yep, 23-17 now. Panthers trying to wrap it up here and just have Zella Tyer serve it out. And as soon as I say that,
you jinxed them.
Goes out of bounds. Leave it to me.
Leave it to you. My mom used to do a net whammy when I was coaching. She would tell me afterwards that she net whammied people.
Oh, net whammy.
Net whammy.
Back line to Anderson, and a little ceiling provided by Dumas. They'll get it up front, and the set, and to Skahan. This ball touched, but it goes out of bounds. And so it's a point to Davis. 23-19. Boy, if they can get just an ounce of energy off of their coach, they'd be undefeated.
Absolutely.
Near side, Holberg again with the kill. Panthers a point away from taking the first set here. Licken will replace Anderson. Also substitution, Lauren Clark replaced by Sydney Brownlee. And Brownlee's going to go back to serve here for Wenatchee. Could get the set point for the Panthers. Service is in. Back to Benitez up front. Near side, and a touch by Wenatchee. Pedroza collects the point for the Pirates. We need a ball. Thank you.
Kind of important.
Pedroza after the point. Now back to serve. Another one of those. Trying to stay alive here. Back line to Tyer. Now up front, Holberg with the kill and the point, and the first set goes to Wenatchee. But give a lot of credit to Davis here in this first set. Now we'll see what happens here over the next set or two. We will take a 2-minute break. No, 1 minute break. 1 minute timeout here on the broadcast, and we'll be back from Wenatchee High School. Again, 25-20 the score in the first set. We'll be back with the second set right after this timeout. Welcome back once again to Wenatchee High School, along with Leanne Branham. I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel, and our broadcast brought to you in part by First Choice Collision Center, Heritage Memorial Chapel, and Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club. Well, a very spirited Davis Pirate team that came out after an hour-and-a-half bus delay getting here. They finally get here. Their JV squad loses in 3 straight, and they come out, and they took Wenatchee all the way to the test in that first set.
Yeah, absolutely. They took Wenatchee to the end. I am sure of it that Wenatchee was a little bit nervous there at the end.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens now.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can only carry so much energy so far, especially if you're gleaning some of that energy from this coach of theirs, who is
she's phenomenal.
She's fun to watch.
Play for her.
I pay for admission just to watch her coach.
Totally. She must not have kids yet, is what I was thinking when I was watching her.
You think so?
How do you
to have all that energy?
To have all that energy.
You know, you run into those once in a while.
You do.
You just find these super dynamos that you just want them around your kids. because
Yep.
they're a positive influence.
Totally. And well, something I was going to say earlier, I heard one of my best friends from college, her husband is actually the principal at Davis, and they have noticed that a lot more athletes have started to come to Davis since they have the brand new school.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm wondering if here in the future, if their sports programs, well, some of their programs are really good, but specifically volleyball, if it will start to rise.
It could be. The Yakima schools, they can choose where they go.
can.
They can choose in or opt in, I guess, is,
Yep,
the nomenclature there.
Yep.
So you've got Davis, Eisenhower,
West Valley.
and West Valley. But West Valley's got its own school district. I don't think they're in the Yakima district.
You are
are
correct.
they?
You
Okay.
are correct.
So it's Davis and West Valley, or Eisenhower. Who am I missing? Is there another one that's in the Yakima school district?
No.
East Valley of Yakima is its own school district.
Yeah.
So, okay.
There's so many schools
I
within
know.
like a 20-mile
Well, then
radius.
you've got Sunnyside, and you've got Sela.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all over the place going on.
I think LaSalle's right in there too, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So it'll be the Wenatchee serve here. Demery Sugg will serve it up to start our second game. And the serve brought to you by TC Slingers. No more need for wheelbarrows, shovels, or rakes. They'll place the material for you. And a placement out of place there for Davis trying to return that first serve, and it's a point to the Panthers. So we'll see how much wind Davis has in their sails here as Sugg on the second service will go back line. Now they'll set it up for Hoburg. And this set a little bit too far for the Panthers, and right there for the touch and the point is Melissa Vasquez for Davis, and we're tied at 1. Pirates will bring in Brenna Morton for the first time here. Wipes her hands off on the bottom of her shoes. Hallberg chasing after this one. They'll get it across to the Panthers as it to the far side to Chavez. Back line to the Panthers. Hallberg kind of off kilter with that set to her. Davis answering as the return by Scalen White. Now back across to Davis. Set it up, Chavez, right side, falling down, Sugg. Off to Tyre, and Wenatchee gets it over, but it's out on the attempt there by Grace Black. So Emily McLean going with a little different lineup here.
A little different
Leanne.
lineup out here.
Getting some bodies in there to play some varsity minutes.
It always makes me a little bit nervous, though. However, Wenatchee didn't just play a stellar game of volleyball, so why not switch it up?
Sure. You worry about chemistry and you worry about rotation and making sure everybody's on the same page. But they practice together all the time, so you'd think they should know what we're doing here.
They should know exactly what you're doing.
Tied up at 2. Hallberg on the service for the Panthers. Demery Sugg going down for that one. Now getting it over is Zella Tyre. Ooh, that's dangerous. She set it basically right to him, but they didn't go for the kill.
You don't want to do that to West Valley.
Oh, my.
They'll be coming back at you nice and
kept
fast.
Waiting for a wave to come towards the net. Didn't happen. Hallberg again on the service, leading by 1 here. 3-2. Back line it goes to Skahan White. And now a touch by Hoburg, and a little bit too soft. And right there licking for the defense for Wenatchee. And a point to the Panthers. 4-2 the score. Allie Hallberg again on the service. Back line it goes to Chavez. Now the touch at the net by Hoburg. Wenatchee with the answer. Tyre with the spike and the point.
Oh, Demery.
You know, it's a shame she doesn't enjoy life.
Right.
Demery she just seems bubbly. I
She
don't
is
know her
bubbly.
at all, but I mean, it comes through the TV screen.
Yep, she's very real and she's very bubbly.
Yeah. And then her celebration of the same arm and same leg that goes up in the air just kills me. Love
Right.
that.
Consistently.
Yeah.
That's her move.
Yep, Hallberg. And I noticed that that's spreading. I'm seeing that among some of the other girls, too. Lickin with the kill and a point.
And she does like the gunslinger thing, too, if you watch her every time. It's like pointing. The guns blazing.
I know with Marissa Lickin, I know we've talked about this, too, having that 6-foot frame up there. If she could just be a little more confident about what she's doing, I mean, she'd just be stellar.
Oh, absolutely. You know, she has improved so much over the last couple of years. It's fun, and she just seems like she really enjoys herself, and she's always working really hard.
Well, there's a nice block by Lickin up front on the line. Davis with the counter. Lickin got a touch on it. Sugg brings it over to Hallberg for the kill, and it's in. And the look between Hallberg and Demery Sugg kind of, well, that was a happy accident, wasn't it?
Happy accident.
Yeah.
I love how you say that. I'm going to use that in my life.
8-2. Well, hey, believe me, I have a lot of those happy accidents. Up front, and boy, just a tough serve going down to get after it was Jada Chavez, but she just couldn't get anything on the return there. And it's a 9-2 Wenatchee lead. 7 points in a row here, served by Hallberg. Jump service there will hit the girder on the return. Stays alive. Nice job returning that one. Hallberg, back line. Davis gets it across. Chavez for the Panthers on the back line. Sugg sets it for Licken, but Licken on the follow through hit the net. So what we talked about earlier about having the ability to stop that arm.
Yep.
Once you get a swing going. Licken turns, gets a little encouragement from the bench, shall we say. 9-3 the score here in the second set. Service for Benitez. Back line for Wenatchee to Brownlee. Now to Hallberg, and that one is out. Close, not quite. Appreciate you joining us here on the broadcast on the NCW Life Channel. Volleyball, soccer, girls soccer, boys football, all part of our broadcast lineup all fall long here on the NCW Life Channel. And we're running out of fall. I mean, it's the weather outside telling us that too. We got snow right above us.
Absolutely.
Substitution here for the Panthers into the contest. Back comes Lauren Clark. And Devin Anderson on the service. Anderson, boy, that's a tough serve. Back line to Chavez. They're not going to get this one. And ouch, little scrapage on the floor and kind of bent her arm awkwardly.
Number 5, you left some skin out there.
Josie Morton looking at her knuckle where the skin used to be. Devin Anderson on the service here. Up front, Morton, and again, Davis just kind of out of sorts here. Some good serving by Wenatchee. 12-4, Panthers on top. We're going to get a timeout. That's a good time for a timeout by Stephanie Gellerson, the head coach for Davis. We'll take a 30-second break and come back as well. 12-4 the score. Don't go away. Wenatchee on top here in the second set. We're back after this. Panthers up 12-4 as we get ready for the service here after the timeout taken by Davis. Devin Anderson waiting for the officials to say, yes, we're ready. So what is they hold up 1 and a 0.
It's how many timeouts they've taken.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Back line now up front. Now the set for the kill attempt. Diving down Anderson. Sugg now crosses over to Tyre. Near side. Nice little swat there by Skahan White. Skahan White again with the touch. Back line it goes to Hallberg, off to Sugg, backs it up to over here to the Panthers' Grace Black. Nice volley back and forth here. Sugg far side, Tyre at the net, and it's in. I didn't know if she hit the net or not. The net kind of flickered a little bit, but no call.
They did call it.
Oh, they did call it?
Yep.
Okay. After the slap there on the kill attempt. Hand went into the net, so a point to Davis. Lachlan Hoberg on the service here. Good serve. That's a tough one. And Sugg just tapped it, got it across. Now they rotate around. Cross court over to Tyre. Tyre with the kill. Substitution here for Wenatchee. Sierra White comes in and replaces Grace Black. And it will be White back on the service for the Panthers, leading at 13-5. Tough serve. Going down was Benitez. Now the kill attempt, and this one's going to spin away from everybody for the Panthers. And a nice job again. There's Dumas, Joy Dumas. One of the obviously most talented players on the floor for Davis here.
Now serving for the Pirates, number 9, Brenna Morgan.
Dumas is a senior. I want to say I remember seeing her play basketball as well for
I knew
Davis
she looked familiar.
year.
I do believe she must play basketball. I don't remember her from volleyball much, but I do remember her from basketball.
You know, and sometimes too, when you know that you're down athletes after graduating a bunch, sometimes it's up to the teammates to go rouse the hallways and say, you know what, you need to play.
Right.
You're an athlete, you need to play. I know it's not your sport, but come on out and help us out. Oh gosh, Davis bodies running into each other. They get it across though. Now crossover to Hallberg, and the kill right at the net. An attempt at the return by Josie Morton, but she got a face full of, what's our brand? Is it Baden brand?
Yes.
ball?
You know what I just realized? Megan Wolf is not out here.
I just talked to her dad before the game, and he said that she sprained her
Yeah.
ankle before or during practice last night.
Yeah, well, I guess at their game on Tuesday, she sprained it, and then she was feeling okay. And last I saw her at school yesterday, and she said she was going to play. I'm wondering if Coach just decided to maybe give her an extra day.
Eric told me that she sprained it last week in a game, but then last night she stepped on
man.
Marissa's leg and kind of tweaked it.
Bummer.
So, yeah, safety, yes. She
Yes.
probably could have gone tonight, but
Why? If you've got other people that can
and that's the
hopefully
same
put
story
through.
with Lily Dexter, too. She's
Right.
out of the lineup as a precautionary measure. We hope to see them both, of course, as we run down the stretch here.
Definitely by postseason, you want to have your team at full strength.
17-6 Wenatchee on top. Sugg up front, and the kill attempt. Oh, just barely missing. Nice attempt by Lauren Clark, but just a little bit too deep.
Checking in for the Pirates, number 7, Melissa Vasquez.
So, with the braids, are they doing that in the stands before their game? Do they do that
Yeah, probably.
to,
They're
to
probably
each other?
probably playing with each other's hair in the
Okay, all right.
stands.
Well, that's it. Hey, if
It's kind of nice. It keeps it out of your face.
Yeah. Hallberg with the shot along the back line. Now a long set. They got it over and a point. How about that? Give that one to Melissa Vasquez. When their setter there, Josie Morton, was clear across the floor. She had to put everything she had into that set to get it over near side. Here's the service by Skahan White. Now Hallberg,
That was
and it's
fun.
in. Wow, right on the line for Allie Hallberg. You were talking about how she's improved on some of those kills, especially at the net.
You're talking about Allie?
Yeah.
I just feel like she's become more a player of the game. She's clearly very naturally athletic. She just gets it. She's going to be good at anything she does, but she never really played much volleyball, other than this. So she's really becoming a player of the game, which is too bad, she didn't have another year or two, or had she played club for years.
Sure.
I can't imagine how great she would be. She's pretty phenomenal. I don't want to play against her.
Well, and thankfully she's out here. I mean, we're just talking about
absolutely.
your athletes need to do more than one sport, and obviously basketball is her sport.
Right.
And she's going to get a chance to play at the next level with basketball and
Right.
help her with her education and everything else. But it's a crying shame when you have athletes that specialize, and then that takes them out of helping your school.
Absolutely.
And I get the whole club thing and all that, and how you want to be able to focus on that, but it's just, I wish the kids played more sports, especially the most athletic ones you've got in the school. And
Oh,
that
no
one,
way.
Oh!
No way.
Bill was right there. He evidently was not. He was checking out what was happening at the nets, but they're going to give Hallberg the point. And guess who's got the serve? Allie Hallberg.
Serving for Wenatchee, number 6, Emery
That was
Excuse
an
me.
amazing kill. That was pretty funny. She was about 5 feet outside that antenna.
Demery Sugg on the service here. Pardon me. And a kill by Hallberg attempt. It hit Licken and goes. What are they going to say here? Touch.
It was in. No,
by
no, no, no.
Licken. They're going to say it was out?
No,
Or in?
the line judge called it in. That should be Wenatchee's point.
Okay, our line judge back here in the corner to our right is saying that it was in. On the touch off of Licken. Now the official's having a miscommunication here across the way, so Bill will go over and talk to her.
Yeah, they hit it off of our hands. We blocked it into Davis's side.
And it
Should
was
be-
in.
it was in.
Right,
It's
here on the near
Wenatchee's ball.
sideline.
Wenatchee's ball. I was going to tell you, I talked to Coach Hallberg for a little while the other day, and Miss Allie Hallberg just has a couple of offers on the table for school to go play basketball from, I think, Seattle Pacific, and then she just got a full ride offer to go to Cal Poly.
Really?
Yeah, so she's kind of
Wow.
got some decisions to make. I know she was kind of exhausted and a little bit stressed out, just trying to think about what your future looks like.
Right.
And
And
if
that's so hard because you have so much more to weigh than just where you're going to go play sports.
right. The hard thing, Coach Hallberg obviously wants her kiddo to stay close, and then you can watch her play a lot. But
Right.
how fun would it be to go to college in California?
Oh, absolutely.
just something
Yeah,
different.
If you're 18 years old, you're
Right.
thinking about that.
Right. Absolutely.
So they are going to say it is a Panther point. We could have rolled the film back for them.
We could have play by play.
Give them a little replay. 20-9 the score. Panthers up here in the second set, and the service by Demery Sugg. Back line, it goes to Lozano. Now up front, they got it across by Chavez. Sugg on the set to Hallberg, and boy, that's a combination that's been fun to watch over the last several years, and there it is again for the point for the Panthers. And Demery Sugg with the signature celebration with the one arm and the one leg. 21-9, service back line, Skahan White. Up front it comes, and a block at the net. And the point to Wenatchee.
Marissa's doing a really good job out there blocking. She's doing a really, really good job tonight.
Keeping the arms up straight. Keeping herself out of the net. Sugg again on the service for Wenatchee. And another point to the Panthers. Now wait, as soon as I said she does the one arm and one leg, now she's just not doing it.
2 arms.
Yeah.
It's the one arm, one leg when it's like intense, big time, really celebrating.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sugg on the service, and that one's going to be out of bounds. And Wenatchee walking away with this one.
This is a little bit more what I imagined that this would look like.
Yep. And that's why I thought after they lost the first set, I wondered how the second would go here. For Davis, gosh, they've had a couple of near nasty collisions here. Sugg off to Licken. Licken, I think it went off a shoulder. It was touched.
Yes, touch.
Yep, and that's a point to Wenatchee, and the set to Wenatchee. So the Panthers win the second one here, 25-9 after winning the first 25-20. We will take a 60-second break, get you ready for the third coming up next here on the NCW Life Channel. Thanks for joining us. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Along with Leanne Branham, I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. And Town Nissan, your local East Wenatchee Nissan dealer, where honesty and transparency come first. We never want to see it, but should there be an injury, our injury timeout's always brought to you by Confluence Health, Wenatchee's premier treatment center for all sports-related injuries. And I'm knocking on the countertop right here, which I hope has a little bit of wood in it. I think there's some in there. We have not, in all the games I broadcast this year, had an injury timeout.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good odds.
I hate the fact that I just said that out loud.
Totally. You've seen Davis a little bit clustery over here.
Oh, my goodness. They've almost had some nasty collisions. So here we go, ready for the third set. And I've been calling these games all this time. And I was looking up my proper terminology, and I was not correct.
It's a set.
It's a set. It's a set.
I think people get a little confused because in tennis, it's a game.
Right.
You know, so it's similar. So it's, a set and a match.
Because it's game, set, match.
Yes.
Because you win a game, and then you play to 6 in the set, and then the match is best of 3 or best of 5.
Correct.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay. Here we play a set, and then it's the best 3 out of 5.
Correct.
Or the first of 3 to win the match or the game.
Right.
But it's typically a match, right?
Yeah. I always said game 1, game 2, game 3, match.
Okay.
But it is technically
a
called
set.
A set. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I study.
I like it.
I try. Because I didn't have you last Saturday. I didn't have Cleat.
How did you do it?
I just faked it.
Fake it till you make it.
Like I do with every broadcast. You kidding me?
You have improved so much in the last year. The amount of knowledge that is spewing from you is incredible.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a lot of fun. And I love having you here because I learn something every time we do a game together.
Perfect.
So
that's what I'm here for.
That's my goal every day in life. Learn something new, laugh real hard, know somebody loves you. That's a good day right there.
That is a good day.
Yeah.
Every time somebody says,
how are the kiddos, by the way?
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
So last year we were talking about this, and you were like new hatchling.
Yes. Yep. I got a little, almost 7-month-old now, and my toddler, and my 7-month-old is like angel baby.
Really?
She is so sweet.
Sleeps through the night?
No, she doesn't sleep through the night, but she's super snuggly and goes right back to bed. She's just hungry.
See, you love that.
Oh my gosh, and she just smiles and she just laughs, and her belly laugh is incredible. So she's pretty awesome.
That's great.
Yep.
All right, I think we're ready to go here. Davis will have the service. It'll be Jordan Skahan White on the serve. and ticks the top of the nets. Wenatchee's there. Bill Lieber screening me, so I can't see exactly who's
Allie Hallberg.
hitting it. Hallberg, of course.
You
I
had
could
to
just
know.
Guess,
Did you see how fast
I could
it
guess
came
by
out?
the velocity without seeing who hit it. Van Wagner comes back in for Wenatchee. Demery Sugg will drop back to serve it. Right-handed service from the left back there, and tough serve. Davis there. Here comes Dumas, and a point. Dumas with a growl from the innards on that point, as she'll be replaced in the lineup here by Serenity King, and King has been that person comes in for the service expertise.
Serving specialist.
And a good serve it is. Sugg on the reverse to Hallberg. Back line, Skahan White is there. A set across. And a nice try by Pedroza. Sugg there, and a kill attempt by Wenatchee and Hallberg again. Back line it goes. Panthers keep it alive. Now to Licken. Oh, beautiful job by Marissa. Found that hole in the pond, and she sank it.
She sank it. What I love about you is that you have a spongy brain. Everything I've taught you, you've used it later.
Spongy brain.
It's good.
Yes.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, my dad would say that too.
I'm sure he would.
He's kind of
He's spongy.
soft in the head. Yeah, that's another
He's
term for it.
He's pretty spongy.
Hallberg on the service here for Wenatchee. Up front, and now the libero Chavez brings it across. Back line it goes to Sierra White. Now up front, and nice play by Zella Tyer.
Megan Van Wagner.
What was it, Van Wagner?
Van Wagner.
Oh, okay. I saw the curve on the number. I thought it was 8. It's 3. And there we go.
I wasn't blocked by Bill Lieber.
Thank you. Hallberg a little too deep on the service this time around. And so a point to Davis. 3-2. We're in the third set, and Wenatchee winning the first 2. But I'll tell you, Davis certainly came out here like a ball of fire. And a lot of that had to do with their coach, I think, Stephanie Gellerson. Backline serve to Brownlee. Now up front, and here's Tyer. And Tyer will get the point for the Panthers. Brenna Morton over here on the near side was trying to make the stop there. Substitution for the Panthers, Lauren Clark comes in. Devitt Anderson will drop back to serve here for the Panthers, leading at 4-2 here in set number 3. Back line to Chavez. Now they'll get it up, and here comes Skahan White. Hallberg will get it back on those sets by Van Wagner. Was that Hallberg or Demery that tried to hit that?
That was Demery
Okay.
that tried to hit that.
Yeah. Just a little bit too far back. Angle not the greatest. And substitution as coming in will be Natalie Benitez on the service here for Davis. Tyer. Sugg. Van Wagner. This one's almost over. Hallberg got it over. And now back line it goes. Davis trying to rotate everybody over. Skahan White gets it in. Now Anderson off to Sugg, and the kill attempt is out. Close. Not quite for Lauren Clark. So that's going to be a little different for the girls, too, when they're playing without 2 of their main people that come in and do get a lot of play time.
Right,
With
exactly.
Wolfie being out and Dexter being out.
It's hard to find a rhythm when you have kids, and even though you do practice with them every day, I'm sure Coach McLean, like any coach, spends most of the time with the core group.
Well, and you're going to have your rotation
Right.
with your bodies
Right.
that you're used to. Same thing in hockey with the line that you play with. If you suddenly get 2 guys out of the 5 that are not in that rotation, you're not going to know where each other are.
Right.
Same as out here in volleyball. You know, you get that 6th sense about where they're going to be when you play with them so much. Reverse set here, and we've got Panthers into the net, and a point to Davis.
I would like to point out number 9's socks. She has on Halloween socks. I
She
love it.
does.
They're ghosts.
Little ghosts on her socks. Kind of
Only-
goes with the color
It
scheme they
does.
have, the
And
black and the orange.
Absolutely. I was going to say only in female sports will you see that.
You think?
I don't know. Well,
I
guys are
would
pretty
have done
interesting these
that.
days.
I would have done that.
Yeah?
Back in school, sure. Oops. And underneath the net that time came Davis's Josie Morton. Just couldn't stop her momentum, so her foot went over the line underneath the net. And so Bill Lieber all over that call. It's a 6-5 contest, close one here. And a substitution for the Panthers into serve here.
This is
You're gonna
Miss
have to help
Jenna
me.
Osborne.
Okay.
She's
Jenna
awesome.
moved up, has Lily Dexter's number on.
Yep.
And now it gets across by Davis up front. Panthers with, 4 bodies up there on that front line. And Hallberg will get the beneficiary of the kill there, as Sierra White and Hallberg and Lauren Clark were there. They had a whole party going on the front line there for a minute. Is that legal to have 4 up front?
No.
Okay. It seemed, I don't know.
I don't think they did.
I was blocked by Bill Lieber, so I couldn't tell necessarily. The service by Jenna Osborne. Good service there. Dumas on the kill attempt. Osborne on the return, and a little touch by Sugg, and Demery gets the point for Wenatchee. Stephanie Gellerson coming out, and was she signaling to the official or to her team?
I think to her team.
Okay.
Like, see when they're going up with an open hand that they're going to tip.
Got it. Deep service this time by Osborne. Dumas to Skahan White. Panthers on the return here. Hallberg, kill.
They had no block right there. That's like party time.
Yeah. Timeout going to be taken here by Davis. Stephanie Gellerson wants to talk it over with her club. 9-5 the score here in the third set after the Panthers took the first 2. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back. Thanks for watching volleyball tonight here on the NCW Life channel. We'll be right back. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee. Real clothes for real women, and Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, your Town Chrysler family store where people get nice surprises. So Halloween's coming up.
It is.
Do the kiddos do you do that? Do you dress them up even though they don't really know what's going on?
Blakely knows exactly what's going on. She got a costume today. She is Supergirl.
Oh, see, I love that.
Yep.
I miss those days.
Yep.
I should call Gracie and say, Gracie, you want to come trick-or-treating with your dad?
I'm sure she would love it.
Of course, I just want the candy.
Right? Yeah, my little one, every day for the last couple weeks, I've been asking her what she wants to be for Halloween, and every day she says something different, but it's a different superhero.
Oh, well, at least she's thematic then.
Yes, so I showed up today with a Supergirl costume, cape and all, and she was ecstatic.
Oh, I'm sure. Jenna Osborne still serving for Wenatchee as the Panthers are up 10-5 now, and Dumas with a smack at the nets, but a little bit too strong there. She definitely is athletic.
Very.
There
she has
is
potential
no
to
doubt.
be really good.
I think she's a senior, however, yeah. And a little soft serve there for Wenatchee by Osborne, and they're going to say...
It's a back row setter.
A back row setter.
Except I think the setter's front row.
Okay, there's a discussion happening. The captain, Josie Morton, goes over to talk to the official here.
Oh, just kidding. She was back row.
Oh, she was back row.
Yep. So you can't do that. They're saying that she was above the net when she contacted that ball as a back row setter.
I see. These rules. I'm trying to get them.
Yep.
I'm trying to get them.
You've done great.
Near side, a little bit too deep this time on the kill attempt by Brenna Morton. It's got to be tough when, you leap as high as you possibly can, your hands barely above the net to make those kill shots. Oh, nice service there for Wenatchee. And again, Jenna Osborne continuing with the string here off the bench for the Panthers.
I could hear her mom on that one.
Oh, you
I could hear her mom. That's cute.
Osborne continuing on the service. Nice soft serve again. Davis to Dumas and the kill. Back it up there was White for Wenatchee. They get it over to Chavez at the line. Dumas found the hole. Point for Davis. Lily Lozano going to come back into the contest here and replace Brenna Morton. Brenna, I don't think very happy about coming out of the game at that point.
Nope.
14-6 Panthers on top. Devin Anderson squatting down after that one. Now Allie Hallberg with the kill, and that's one on the return attempt by Natalie Benitez. Came a little bit too strongly over here near side, so it goes out of bounds. Point to the Panthers. Brownlee comes back in for Wenatchee. She'll drop back and serve here as Lauren Clark takes a seat down on a busy Wenatchee bench. 15-6 the score. Panthers in charge. Back line, it goes to Chavez. Now up front to Dumas. Dumas just a little bit far back. She's about 7 feet away from the net, and angle was just tough for her to get that kill. And so it's a point to the Panthers. Sydney Brownlee, 5'3" junior. Wears number 1 with the service. Like that golf announce there?
I
like
did.
That?
It was very quiet and subtle.
Sugg, or excuse me, it was Demery Sugg on the kill attempt, but then the rejection by Davis. Point to the Pirates.
It's been kind of fun to see Demery get to actually attack some balls this game.
Yeah.
Sierra White's setting a
Yep.
few, so Demery's actually able to attack them.
Substitution coming in, Elaricia Pedroza. And Skahan White back to serve. She's done pretty good on the serve, but this one's a little bit too deep.
You did a net whammy on her.
I did a whammy. 17-7 the score. Well, Davis still being spirited out there with her girls on the floor for Stephanie Gellerson.
I think you have to. When you become the type of team that doesn't win a ton, you have to stay this way to stay, you know what I mean, to stay in
Keep
it
them
physically.
in. You got to keep them in. Sugg on the service for Wenatchee. Here's the set, and they set it over. Nice play and nice eyes by Josie Morton. And she just finds a hole and drops her right in there. Serenity King replaces Joy Dumas in the lineup. So King will drop back to serve again, trailing at 17-8. Service. Strong serve. Back line. Osborne was there, but then sprawling out Sydney Brownlee, and her body was where the ball was falling, so nobody could get to it. So it's a point to Davis. Again, Serenity King on the service for the Pirates. Back line to Osborne. Now Hallberg, just all she could do is just touch it. Panthers returning it. Hallberg again, kind of awkward set to her. King. Now Skahan White deep. Osborne with the set. Nobody's going to be able to get to that. Demery Sugg had to touch her, or else it was going to go in the net. But then what can you do with it at that point?
You have to keep it on our side because
Right.
she's back row.
Right.
So that's a tough one. You just hope your hitters are following you.
King again trying to get the 3rd point in a row here for Davis. Into the net it goes. Sugg going down to her knees, and that's a point to the Pirates. Little run here for Serenity King and Davis here in this 3rd set. Again, off the bench, Stephanie Gellerson coaching up her front line here on every single point. King, service, back line, Brownlee, touched by Hallberg, and a point to the Panthers. Substitution here as Jenna Osborne comes back into the lineup for the Panthers. So too,
Zella
was
Tyre
it Zella
back
Tyre
in.
that
Yep.
came back in? Okay.
They did that little 3-man switcheroo.
Okay, all right. And Hallberg back to serve here for Wenatchee. Gets the instructions on where Emily McLean wants her to put it, and she puts it just perfectly on a return and little touch by Marissa Licken.
That was nice. Marissa saw there was a big old hole, and she went right for it.
Good vision. You're right. Since I've seen her play last year, she's improved.
Absolutely.
a
She's
lot.
become more of, I like to call it, a player of the game.
Back line to Skahan White. Davis keeps it alive. I don't know if that was touched by
No,
Wenatchee
it
at the
was
line or
not.
not.
It
So
was
that's
not.
4 hits.
Yeah.
Davis looking bewildered right here because they thought it was touched at the line.
It hit that net and bounced right back up.
Right. Good call, Coach. Ali Hallberg on the service here. 20-11, Panthers on top. Small student section here tonight. And Davis, nice return. Panthers, Zella Tyre. Cross it goes. White got it back over. Now Hallberg with the kill attempt. It's out. About half a ball width too long on that end line. And it's 20-12. Substitution for Wenatchee. Shelby McCreary came in wearing number 14. So she's seeing her first action in a 20-12 contest. Meanwhile, to serve for Davis, Josie Morton. Morton deep on the serve and too deep. Point to Wenatchee. Good eyes by Sydney Brownlee back there on the back line. Devin Anderson replaces Marissa Licken, and Lauren Clark will come in and replace Sydney Brownlee. So Anderson on the serve here for Wenatchee. 4 points away from wrapping this one up. There's the service. Back line, Skahan White. Now reverse on the set, and that's going in the corner. It's in! Wow! Give the point to Elarazia Pedroza. Substitution, popping off the bench. Benitez, she'll come in and serve. And replace Pedroza. Gets congratulations from Coach Gellerson. And Benitez on the service. Back line to Anderson. Up front, a little tap there by Megan Van Wagner. Chavez to Hoberg, back line, in. Wow, that was close. Devin Anderson sprawling after it, couldn't get to it. And a point to Davis. (21-14) here in the third set. Wenatchee won the first one 25-20, the second one 25-9. Service too strong that time. Off the hand of Natalie Benitez, it's out and a point to Wenatchee. 22-14. Substitution for the Panthers. Sierra White comes back in, so she'll have the serve. Service by White, soft. Skahan White on the return, and a point. Looks like there's holes in the corners on that back line for Wenatchee back there, Coach.
There is definite holes.
Because Devin seems like she's back there by herself.
Right.
Holberg, service.
Well, if you think about it, it's a 30 by 30 court, and there's only 6 people. So
Right.
there are a lot of holes potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that? 30 by 30, 60 by 30?
I remember seeing that.
Okay.
I don't remember that off the top of your
There's the
head. I would have
tidbit
failed
for the
that quiz. That quiz.
That squiz?
Yeah, the squiz.
And it's called the 10-foot line because obviously it's 10 feet from the center line.
10 feet from the center line.
Yep.
Okay. Here's a service by Osborne. Davis got it across. Little tap. They get it back over again. Anderson up front to White. Over to Sugg. Skahan White going to get it back here. And a block at the net. And I don't even know if the Panthers touched it. It hit the top of the net, went out of bounds.
Went
Point.
inbounds.
Or it went inbounds.
It went inbounds.
How about that?
We're going to say that Demery got a block.
Okay.
I'll give her one in the stat book.
Okay, sure you go. Another serve by Osborne, trying to win it here for Wenatchee. Skahan White up front on the set. Panthers get it back across. Chavez back line. Set again by Morton. Touch. Oh, nice play. Skahan White with the point for Davis. (24-16). Davis trying to stave off the end of this contest. Service, Lozano, back line, Osborne, set, Clark, rejection, out of bounds, point to Wenatchee, and the game to Wenatchee. 25-16 the final here in the third set, and the Wenatchee Panthers win it 3-0 over the Davis Pirates. We'll take a break and come back. Your post-game show coming up with myself and Leanne, so hold on for that as we will take a break. 2-minute timeout. We'll be back. Again, the Wenatchee Panthers win it 3-0 here over Davis. We're coming back on the NCW Live channel. Welcome back here on the post-game show along with Leanne Branham. I'm Eric Granstrom. Well, Leanne, we talked to Coach Emily McLean about wanting to get a lot of bodies in tonight, about the girls passing better. She got a lot of girls in. How do you assess the game for Wenatchee tonight?
Well, you know, she did. I think every player on the bench did get in, which is awesome. It gives them experience. It gives them a little bit of momentum for those younger kids that don't get to play a lot. I think that Wenatchee kind of came in a little bit underestimating Davis, like we had talked about. You definitely don't want to do that, but luckily for Wenatchee, things started falling their way, so it was, successful at the end of the night.
Well, and best of all, everybody stayed healthy tonight, and so the Wenatchee, as they go down the stretch here, you want to have everybody ready to go for the playoffs. They're able to keep a couple of players out of the lineup tonight, give them a chance to heal up a little bit more. And like you said, give a chance to those who don't get a lot of playing time. And who knows what happens, down the road. You get into the playoffs, you get into the postseason, somebody goes down. Well, then you've got varsity experience on the bench to go say, hey, come on in and play.
Right, absolutely. And I think it's super important for a lot of the varsity girls that don't get a ton of playing time to play. It's going to make them better for practicing, which is going to in turn make it more competitive, which only makes your starters better. You always want your non-starters to be playing as much as possible because they're going to help your starters get better.
Right. And also they say the film don't lie. That gives Emily a chance to work with them on some things that maybe she doesn't have any game tape on.
Right, absolutely. I think it totally helps her be able to see what those kids maybe what they're missing or what they can improve on or what they are doing great at so that they can, move in that direction in the future.
The Panthers improved to 8-3 overall. They're now 7-2 in Big Nine play after downing Davis 25-20, 9-16. Leanne, thanks again. It's always a pleasure to be by your side to do these broadcasts.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Leanne Branham, I'm Eric Granstrom. Thanks to our crew tonight as well. Michael Price on the camera tonight. And we had some extra help as well. So wait a minute. Give me your name real quick. Jessica. Dang it. And of course, Jessica also helping us out on the camera work tonight as well here at Wenatchee High School. Again, the Panthers get the win 3-0 and will continue their trek towards a postseason run. That's going to wrap it up here from Wenatchee High School. Thanks for joining us for volleyball tonight here on the NCW Life Channel. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Panther Volleyball on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast has been presented by Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Town Nissan, Collins Fashions, and the Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Bringing local sports to you, we are the NCW Life Channel. Thanks for watching.